Good morning, children. Today we'll start the poem The Frog and the Bird, written by Vera S.C. This poem is about a frog and the bird, two different characters, isn't it? A bird can fly, whereas the frog cannot. A frog can swim and live in water, whereas the bird cannot. So, both different characters. All the living things on this planet is different, isn't it? Each one of them can do something which the other cannot. So, let me start the poem. Look into your book. By a quiet little stream on an old mossy log, looking very forlorn, sat a little green frog. He had a sleek speckled back and two bright yellow eyes, and when dining, selected the choicest of flies. A little frog was sitting on an old mossy log by a quiet stream, by the side of a stream. He was looking sad and he was alone catching the best flies. How he appeared to be? He had a smooth and shiny back with dots and two bright yellow eyes. The sun was so hot he scarce opened his eyes, far too lazy to stir, let alone watch for flies. He was nodding and almost asleep when a voice in the branches chirped, "Froggy, cheep, cheep." When it is a sunny day, he rarely opened his eyes and he was too lazy. He was too lazy and unscrupulous. He didn't want to even move from his place to catch the flies. When he was almost about to sleep, he heard a warning sound from the branches, from the above branches of a tree. It was a bird. "Froggy, cheep, cheep. You had better take care," piped the bird to the frog. "In the water you will be if you fall off that log. Can't you see that the streamlet is up to the brim?" Croaked the froggy. "What odds? You forget I can swim." The bird warned him, gave him a warning. "You little frog, if you sit and sleep this way, you will fall into the water and get drowned. Can't you see the water is almost up to the brim?" Then what was the frog's response? The frog told, "Can't you? Don't you know that I can swim?" Then the froggy looked up at the bird perched so high on a bough that to him seemed to reach to the sky. So he croaked to the bird, "If you fall, you will die." Chirped the birdie, "What odds? You forget I can fly." Then the froggy looked up. The bird was sitting on the top of the branches. Then he told, "You little bird, if you fall from the top, you will die." Then what was the bird's answer? The bird told, "You forgot that I can fly." Okay, both are different characters, isn't it? One can swim, the other can fly. So, this is the poem about. Once again, I will read the poem. Look into your book. By a quiet little stream on an old mossy log, looking very forlorn, sat a little green frog. He had a sleek speckled back and two bright yellow eyes, and when dining, selected the choicest of flies. The sun was so hot, he scarce opened his eyes, far too lazy to stir, let alone watch for flies. He was nodding and almost asleep when a voice in the branches chirped, "Froggy, cheep, cheep. You would better take care," piped the bird to the frog. "In water you will be if you fall off that log. Can't you see that the streamlet is up to the brim? Croaked the froggy. What odds? You forgot I can swim. Then the froggy looked up at the bird perched so high on a bough that to him seemed to reach to the sky. So he croaked to the bird, if you fall, you will die. Chirped the birdie, what odds? You forget I can fly. So this is the poem. You have to learn it by heart. You have to write the word meanings. All the red underline your words you have to underline, learn the spelling as well as the word meanings. The word meanings you have to write down in your copy. Okay. So till then, bye. God bless you all.